There are a number of improvements in documenting the SO note for AHLTA 3.3, but before we open the SO note, let's go up to the action bar and click on the Options button. The options for 3.3 has been expanded so that we now have a section called SO Default. The first item, if selected, will automatically convert positive items in the ROS to the HPI. So if you choose the plus sign of something that is in the ROS, it will create it as a documentation item in the SO note, but it'll move it to the HPI. If you would prefer that the computer not do this for you, you can unselect this, and then everything will stay in the different sections as you document, just as it has been in the past. Let's leave this clicked on so we can show you how this works in just a moment. And then also we have the ability to merge the DX prompt and prompt with the default template, which we'll see a little bit later. We'll say OK to select these items. Now let's click on the SO note. We open here with a cold and flu template, and we're going to begin documenting. Just as we've done in the past, we can click the plus sign and remove it to the right hand side and shows you how we've documented that item. Let's go down to the ROS tab. If we say that this patient does have headaches, we'll click the plus sign. And because we chose the option earlier to say that all items in the ROS, when chosen as positive, move them to the HPI. That's why this stayed in the HPI section. So we'll say no to facial pain, no to loss of hearing, but maybe the patient does have an earache, so I'm going to click this and we'll see that it automatically moves this to the HPI section. Using this option will move your primary items that are true into the HPI while keeping all of your items that have been ruled out as negative or normal in the review of systems. This allows for reading positive and normal statements so that they're grouped together in the different sections. In the past, adding and deleting things from your default template was very difficult. In this case here, I'm going to right-click on one of these items, and you'll notice it comes up with several options. I've clicked on earache. I'd like to add this to my default template, one that I use frequently. I click that button, and this has been now changed over to my default template. And we'll continue to document. If there's another item I'd like to move, say nausea, I can add that to my default template as well. So if I go up now and click on and open my default template from my drop-down list, we'll see that there is the earache, just like we had before. And if I go down to the ROS, there's my nausea items. So I can actually add to and take away from my default encounter template as I'm documenting. I've decided not to have nausea in my default template, so I'm going to right-click on nausea and remove that from my default template. So now when I go back to this, it'll automatically have only the items that I want in it. To go back, I'll click on the back arrow, should return me to my visit and cold flu template. We'll continue to document a few items here. If at any time I wanted to go back to my home, there's a little button up here at the top now that says go to my default template. I don't have to use the drop down. There's a little home button here that automatically takes me to my default template, and then we could use that from there. Additionally, in the SO documentation, the DX prompt that we find up here on the action bar has been enhanced as well. So we'll click on DX prompt, and it opens up a new box where I can search for items. But what we see here is that it also now includes items from the patient's problem list and the diagnoses from the current encounter. So I don't have a diagnosis, so that does not show. But we can see that the patient already has blurry vision from his problem list. So I'll double click on that, and it'll bring up items that are related to blurry vision. You can see that these are highlighted in blue, telling me they came from the DX prompt. So this combines not only the template that I was using, but it also brings in the items from the DX prompt.